Welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm now joined by Don Jamela and Penny Lynn Smith of the Odyssey Swing and Jazz Orchestra, and they are going to be doing an event called Ella and Ellington at the University of South Carolina Beaufort Art Center. So welcome.
It's great to be here.
Tell us about Ella and Ellington. Sounds fabulous.
It's a great program. The whole idea of doing the theme came from the celebration of Ella Fitzgerald's 100th birthday, which is April 25th.
Okay.
She would have turned 100, and Duke Ellington, the 28th, would be 118 years old.
Wow.
And the two of them collaborated on so much music, it just seemed like a great time to do a tribute to both of them.
What a perfect fit, absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the event. What can we expect?
Well, we're going to be joined by two amazing vocalists and a truly amazing jazz orchestra. Odyssey is made up of 17 of the area's best jazz musicians, and these players have played all over the world in venues all over the world. And we're joined by Penny Lynn Smith and Gina Renee, who are doing some absolutely fabulous Ella Fitzgerald tunes.
So tell me about some of your favorites.
Oh, some of my favorites, you can't even start. There is no one definitive favorite Ella tune. In fact, one of the challenges of putting this concert together was which tunes will we choose to put on this concert. But there are a couple that were Ellington and Ella collaborations.
Yeah.
Okay, and which ones are those?
Let's Do It is one, which is actually a Cole Porter song. And what is there? Is there another one? But that's the first one that comes to my mind.
Yeah, Our Love Is Here to Stay. Some very, very famous Ella tunes that she did in session with Duke Ellington. The two of them collaborated on numerous albums, and Duke Ellington wrote over 3,000 songs, many of which Ella did and are part of the Great American Songbook. And Penny's right. We had the biggest challenge was which can we fit in an hour and a half program?
Whittle down 3,000 to the ones that you chose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, excuse me. When I was looking through your information, you said you wanted to talk a little bit about how Duke Ellington kind of overcame the racial bias that he was confronted with as he was trying to be the band leader.
And he was a great band leader, and far ahead of his time. As you know, during the 30s, 40s, and 50s, it was a difficult time for African Americans getting hotels and transportation and all of those kinds of things. Duke Ellington actually went out and bought a train so his band could travel with him by train and go from site to site. He appeared in the Cotton Club, which was a primarily African-American group, but he was able to bridge that gap between African-American audiences, which was primarily who he appealed to initially, and then spread into white audiences and drew national and international acclaim. For many years, he was known more widely in Europe than he was here in the United States, but gradually that began to switch around, and his reputation is just famous.
Well, yes, of course, we all know Duke. So tell us a little bit more about this event specifically.
We chose the theme, and we were fortunate enough to get a tremendous venue in Beaufort, the University of South Carolina Beaufort Center for the Performing Arts. It's a 460-seat auditorium, great acoustics, and a great place for us to play. We've put together a program where we'll do some of the Ellington favorites with just Odyssey, and then combine that with both Penny and Gina doing some solo Ella and Ellington tunes, and then doing 3 duets together. So it should be a pretty special program.
Sounds like it's going to be a great evening. Yeah. How about a little sample?
A little sample? Oh my goodness!
You came in here singing, so I know you want to do it.
Well, you also have to mention how wonderful Ella was, because so many people, when they think of Ella, they think of scatting, and she's so much more than that. I mean, she had her background. She also had the religious background, so she's the consummate vocal musician, and she was constantly learning more and more to add to her library. So actually, one of my favorites on this one is a different tune that Ella did not do, but Duke Ellington wrote, and that's Tulip or Turnip. So that would be my personal favorite Duke Ellington tune. But as far as my favorite Ella tune that we're doing on this concert, it's probably got to be the last one, that we're doing as a duet, and it's, it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. So it's a duet, so that's probably my favorite.
Fantastic. Well, I think everybody needs to get to this event because it sounds wonderful. Thank you so much for being with us.